Welcome to this video on adverb misplacement in communication skills. We will cover common adverbs like almost, nearly, and only, using over 120 examples. Our guide covers the foundations of adverb misplacement, including the use of limiting and frequency adverbs. We will also examine squinting modifiers and provide mixed practice and exam strategy. Section 1 focuses on the foundations. We'll define adverb misplacement, explain why word position matters, discuss the position rule, and give a brief overview of the types we will cover. Adverb misplacement is when an adverb modifies the wrong word, completely changing the sentence's meaning. The golden rule is to fix the misplacement without changing the intended meaning. The position rule states that a limiting adverb modifies the word immediately to its right. The position of only dramatically alters the meaning of a sentence. For instance, in only I saw the thief yesterday, the focus is on the unique observer, whereas I saw the thief only yesterday focuses on recency. Here is an overview of the key adverbs we will be covering and their rules. Note the importance of placing adverbs like almost, only, and scarcely immediately before the word or phrase they are intended to limit. Section 2 focuses on almost and nearly. These adverbs are common pitfalls, so knowing the correct placement is essential for clarity. Almost and nearly are limiting adverbs that must precede the specific number, word, or amount they limit. Misplacing them can drastically change the meaning. Notice the pattern. Verb plus almost / nearly plus number is correct. In this set of examples, we see how moving almost or nearly immediately before the number or amount corrects the original ambiguous sentence. The correct placement is key. More practice examples reinforce the rule. Correct sentences place almost or nearly right before the number or amount being modified. Note that nearly all is correctly placed when it modifies a group. These examples demonstrate how almost and nearly can change the scope or object of the sentence. Remember to place the adverb immediately before the word it is meant to modify, whether it's a number, amount, or an entire phrase. Section 3 is dedicated to the word only, arguably the most dangerous adverb. A single position change results in a completely different meaning. Only is a focusing adverb that should highlight the word immediately to its right. We've previously seen how its position creates 4 distinct meanings in a single sentence structure. In these examples, we correct the placement of only to ensure it limits the intended word, not the verb or another element. For example, only God correctly limits the subject. Further, only examples illustrate different intended meanings. Ensure only modifies the specific word you want to emphasize, whether it's a person, a chapter, or a duration. This final set of only examples shows instances where context determines correct placement. Remember, the placement dictates the precise meaning, restricting the scope to the element immediately following only. Section 4 examines scarcely, hardly, and barely. These are negative limiters that follow strict positioning rules. These negative limiting adverbs mean almost not at all. They must be placed immediately before the verb or the amount they restrict. Placing them at the end of a sentence loses the intended meaning. In scarcely examples, the adverb must sit before the verb, like I scarcely earn. Hardly sits before the verb, or an indefinite pronoun, such as the patient hardly ate anything. Barely precedes the verb or quantity, as in she passed with barely 70%. These extended examples further demonstrate the correct placement of scarcely, hardly, and barely, immediately preceding the word or phrase they modify, ensuring the intended meaning of almost not at all. Section 5 covers frequency adverbs, which specify how often something occurs. Adverbs like always, never, and often have specific positional rules that must be followed. Frequency adverbs tell how often something happens, and their position is critical. Rule 1. Before the main verb. Rule 2. After forms of to be. Rule 3. Between the auxiliary and main verb. Rule 4. Generally never at the end. This first set of frequency adverb examples shows common misplacements. The corrections follow the rule of placing the adverb immediately before the verb it modifies to convey the correct frequency. Section 6 addresses squinting modifiers, a two-direction trap where the adverb's position causes ambiguity by potentially modifying the verb before or after it. A squinting modifier sits between two verbs, making it unclear which one it modifies. To correct this, Rewrite the sentence so the adverb clearly modifies only the intended element, typically by moving it to the beginning or end of the clause. These examples demonstrate the ambiguity of squinting modifiers. For instance, occasionally could modify insult or apologize. The correct placement clearly defines the intended action's frequency. Section 7 introduces frequency counts, phrases like 3 times or every 4 hours. These modifiers must be positioned to modify the action, not a time phrase. Frequency counts must modify the repeated action verb. Misplacing the count phrase often makes it appear to modify a reporting verb, like swore or told, instead of the actual repeated activity. A classic example illustrates the rule. Kwame swore 3 times that he was going to quit his job, correctly places 3 times after the verb swore, meaning he swore on 3 occasions. These extended examples of frequency counts emphasize that the numerical frequency must modify the correct action. Notice how moving the count clarifies whether the action itself or the telling of the action was repeated. Section 8 summarizes key corrections for different adverb types, including scarcely, rarely, and frequency counts. The correct placement of these adverbs ensures clarity and precision in meaning. Remember, never change a sentence unless you are sure the adverb is misplaced. Always ask if the adverb sits immediately before the word or amount it limits. If it is correct, copy it as written. Section 9 begins the mixed practice sets. Here, we apply the knowledge of all adverb types without specific labels to reinforce your diagnostic skills. Mixed practice set A challenges you to identify the adverb type, what is wrong, and the correction. For instance, he swore that he would pay the debt 5 times, incorrectly places the frequency count. In Mixed Practice Set B, we continue applying diagnostic questions. Note the nuance in sentences like, he only gave his number to her, where the intended meaning dictates the correct placement of only. Mixed Practice Set C presents challenge examples, some of which are already correct. Use careful analysis to identify misplaced or squinting modifiers, like in the example concerning the headmaster's announcement. Section 10 covers exam strategy and reference, offering a practical 5-step method, diagnostic questions, and common traps to maximize your success in the examination. The 5-step method is 1. Identify the adverb. 2. Ask what it limits. 3. Check if it's immediately before that word. 4. If misplaced, move it to the correct position. 5. Reread and verify meaning is preserved. Be aware of common exam traps. Avoid overcorrecting correct sentences, and ensure you move limiting adverbs like almost and only to the intended position, always confirming the meaning is unambiguous. This master reference provides quick rules for almost/nearly, only, scarcely/hardly/barely, frequency adverbs, squinting modifiers, and frequency counts. Use this for quick revision before your exam.